Hello, it's the quick take here on the Fulhamish YouTube channel. Fulham 1, Villa 2 on Saturday afternoon at Craven Cottage. A disappointing one, maybe on another day, could have been a draw for us, but it was an entertaining game. I think the difference between the two sides is that Villa looked very dangerous, and most of all, Villa were very ruthless. And I think that was the difference between the two in what was otherwise quite a marginal gain. And I thought Fulham got off to a good start in this one. I thought that we looked dangerous. I thought we created the better openings, and we gifted Villa a goal. Absolutely gifted them a goal. It's really sloppy by Anthony Robinson. Look, I feel like we get so many throw-in situations right that I guess maybe law of averages suggests that we're going to get one wrong, but I'm not really sure what he's trying to do there. I mean, 101 of football throw-ins for me is not to put a throw-in across your own box, and that is exactly what Robinson did. I see what he's trying to do. Willian has made the run back, and 9 times out of 10, Willian is able to control that. Robinson puts a bit too much on the throw, and Willian is just inches off being able to control it. And once he doesn't, we're in a total mess at the back. And Ollie Watkins reacts quickest, really. Turns Diop a little bit too easy. It falls to him nicely, but also the turn and the finish is really smart. And look, that's what happens. If you give it to a striker in red-hot form, he's going to often find the bottom corner. It's just sloppy, though, because from our own throw-in, there's absolutely no need to give them that goal. And we might look back at this game, we're going to talk about refereeing, and we're going to talk about other things, we're going to talk about missed chances, but we are 1-0 down fully of our own making there. And look, this is a Villa side that I think were a bit short on confidence going into this game, and we can't be affording them, gifting them a 1-0 lead. It's exactly what Villa needed at that point, and they kind of took that and ran with it. I think Villa then definitely had the better chances to make it 2 before half-time. Alex Moreno, a fingernail offside. Fulham also had their own goal disallowed for a very, very tight offside. But yeah, Moreno's was definitely the tightest. Borderline onside, to be honest. I mean, that's one where I just think, well, look, actually, let's not get into a VAR decision. On the pitch, it was given offside. So I think I saw some Villa fans complaining about it. Oh, why is VAR given that as offside? If we're looking at the benefit of the doubt here, the linesman did actually give it offside. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that that we got away with one. Ultimately, that's what the linesman saw. It was bloody tight. It was almost marginal. Like it's what we would have called in the old days level before lines and everything else came into it. The VAR wait was ridiculous inside the ground. Home and away fans singing "fuck VAR," and rightly so, because it's just an absolutely abhorrent experience as a fan when you're waiting there for 3 or 4 minutes for some nerd at Stockley Park to draw a line. Villa had brilliant chances as well. Leon Bailey hit the bar. Leno had to make a good save from Tielemans. Fulham looked a bit shell-shocked. I think we were fortunate to go into half-time only 1 goal down. And then in the second half, I thought Fulham started really brightly. Iwobi came on for Willian. We thought that the Nigerian boys returning from AFCON, Iwobi and Bassi would play a part, and they both did. But yeah, Iwobi came on at half-time. Not 100% sure whether that was enforced or whether it was a tactical change. Whatever it was, Iwobi came on and just looked really bright and positive and seemed to add a lot to the team, which was why it was really, really annoying when Aston Villa went and made it 2. It was the perfect time for them to score because we were really in the ascendancy. I thought it was a matter of time until Fulham actually made it 1-1, and they went up the other end of the pitch. Diop, I think, gets caught out, to be perfectly honest. I think he's at fault for the goal. It's a good finish by Watkins, but you give a player like that a chance to strike on goal, and they're going to make you pay because he's on form. And that's what I said at the top. I think Villa were more ruthless than Fulham in this game, and that's why they won this football match. And at 2-0, I'm there thinking, well, we might as well go home here because I never saw Fulham getting back into the match at that point. And we get a goal out of nothing pretty quickly afterwards as well. Rodrigo Muniz. That man again, 4 goals in 3 games. And once again, he's fashioned a goal out of not very much. He's done that a lot recently. You know, he did it in the Bournemouth game for his first. And in this one, look, it's a good ball down the left-hand side from Kearney. It falls perfectly for Robinson. But at no point in the ground am I thinking there was any danger of that going in. It's just fantastic. I mean, Martinez should get there, the Villa defender. I'm not sure which Villa defender it was. Should have cleared it, but Rodrigo Muniz just smelt an opportunity and just got a deft little touch in it, and it's all it needed. And it lifted the Cottage. And actually, the 25 or so minutes after that were really enjoyable from my point of view. Yes, we didn't win. And yes, we maybe should have taken and made some more of the opportunities we got. But actually, we made some really exciting subs. We brought on Adama Traore. We had Iwobi on the pitch. I thought Harry Wilson looked really, really dangerous. And Muniz was a kind of constant nuisance up front. And, you know, I thought the Hammersmith end was in decent voice. And I thought actually on another day it could have gone our way. And look, the big chance falls to Adama Traore. He obviously has to score. It's the clock has literally just struck 90. You threw on goal. It's a brilliant ball by Muniz to put him through. He has to finish it. But also, there's an element of... It's not a surprise, is it? You know, Traore is a bit rusty, and Emi Martinez is a fantastic goalkeeper. I don't think we can be expecting someone that's made 2 substitute appearances to be super sharp and putting that into the back of the net. And we have seen Martinez pull off saves like that on the very biggest stage. And Villa fans, if you do qualify for the Champions League at the end of the season, then there's a couple of points in it. You might look back at that save and think that might just have been where X position was clinched. I have to wait and see. It's a great save. I'm going to give more credit to Martinez than to chastise Traore. And then at this moment, I think it's fair to just quickly talk about the referee. I know that Villa fans were fuming at him as well, but so were us Fulham fans. I thought he was useless. And I hate criticising referees because ultimately I feel like criticism of referees at the top level filters down to referees at grassroots level, and the abuse that referees face and the crisis that's happening with referees is awful, and there aren't enough. And I don't know why anyone really would put themselves through being a grassroots referee for the crap that they get. And it all starts with people giving referees crap at the top, in my opinion anyway. But it was his first Premier League game today, and you could just tell. He was off the pace from minute 1. And I think he made the age-old mistake of trying to let too much go. And Premier League players smell weakness and they cotton onto it. And that is exactly what happened here. The players cottoned onto it and the game just turned into a farce. There was huge challenges going unpunished. He wasn't retrospectively going back and booking players. There was just poor decisions all over the pitch. I mean, some of the decision-making towards the end of the match, there's a 100% blatant corner that got given as a goal kick just as Fulham were in the ascendancy. And then Harry Wilson, he's challenged. It's not even a yellow. I think he arguably could have been on the borderline of a red. And I know Villa fans are pretty upset about the penalty not given to Ollie Watkins by Issa Diop, and I've looked back at it. It's not great, but I can kind of see why VAR doesn't intervene, but it's a poor decision on the pitch. But I think what incensed us most was added time. And look, Fulham lost their heads a little bit in added time. You know, we had about 5 bookings and we were a bit naive in added time, and we let Villa run away with the match. But at the same time, the ball was in play for 57 seconds of the 5 added minutes. And he only played 5 minutes and 20. We've been denied the opportunity to have a fair crack at added time. You know, Fulham in the ascendancy, and he lost control of a match and allowed Villa to slow down the clock. And look, maybe he'll learn, maybe he'll get better. But I think what frustrates me is that ultimately refs have to start somewhere. There has to be a first game, and you have to bring through new refs into the Premier League. But we've already had a new ref this season in the Burnley game. And I think some Fulham fans, and I this is definitely my feeling, just feel like the Premier League go, oh, let's give them a nice game at Craven Cottage. Why? Why should we get the brunt of new referees? Spread the load. Why couldn't they, I don't know, I get that you're not going to give them maybe City Liverpool on their first game. I get that. You might not give them a title decider, but spread it out a bit. Why has it always got to be Craven Cottage? Why has it always got to be Fulham? Because we might not give them as hard a time as they might get at another Premier League ground. So what? That's not... I think that might be what Silver and Fulham quietly say to the PGMOL next week is, why do you keep giving us the new refs? Because he wasn't good enough today. And yes, you expect that new ref not going to be quite as good as an experienced senior pro that's refereed 300 games. But at the same time, I don't really see why it always has to be Fulham. I think it's because people see it as a bit of a soft touch, and I don't personally think that's good enough. So, look, in summary, we didn't lose, I think, because of the referee. We lost mostly because of a couple of mistakes. A bit of sloppiness, some Villa ruthlessness, and, you know, we had a good chance to equalise late on, and we weren't quite as clinical as Villa. We didn't lose today because of the ref, but it certainly spoilt the spectacle. And a bigger picture for Fulham, look, it's not a disaster of a defeat by any stretch of the imagination. I think a win today would have been real exciting. I think we might have been able to really push kind of top 10. You see our kind of sides around us, above us, getting points. That we're going to be in this 12th, 13th slog, barring a bit of an end of season flurry. I think that's exactly where we're going to finish this season. Villa are chasing the Champions League. Losing 2-1 to them is not a disgrace. I'd like in the next few games, we've got difficult matches. You know, we've got away to United. We've got Brighton at home. I'd like us to ruffle a feather of somebody. I'd like us, you know, it'd be amazing if we could go to Old Trafford and get something. And can we beat Brighton? Can we beat a Spurs team that's a little bit patchy? I'd really like to see us get another couple of big wins. We've got difficult games coming up. Can we go and upset the apple cart somewhere? And just keep that points total ticking along. Let's get to 30 points. I think Fulham only need 2 wins to almost be guaranteed safety. We've still got 13, 14 games with which to do it. So we're in good shape. It's nice to see some players returning. I hope that we can get a bit more of a clinical edge and maybe cut out some of the mistakes as they're back. But I think as players return, I think that this Fulham team will get better over the next few weeks. And there was definitely some signs of encouragement today. Put in the comments section what you thought of the game today, maybe who you thought the man of the match was, whether you think that there should be any changes for any of the upcoming games. Thank you for watching. The podcast will be out later on Sunday or maybe Monday, I believe, not 100% sure when, but check out the podcast for much more reaction from today's game. And yeah, thanks for watching. You whites.